Okay, this tutorial is going to cover putting a panorama together. First of all, we're going to be using Photoshop. I've already taken the images, so I'm expecting you all to already have your images taken. So the first thing we're going to do is select all our images and drag them into Photoshop. If this comes up, just select all up here and open images. It will open all of our images in one window over here, and what we're going to do is create a new document to start our panorama on. Okay, so to open our new document, go to File, New, International Paper, and I'm going to start it with A4. You can choose to have a bigger size canvas, of course. Just know the bigger you go, the bigger your file size will be, and depending on your computer it may slow down depending on how big you go. Okay, so we're going to drag this new document out, and because it's a panorama we're going to rotate it so it is landscape, and there we go. We're now going to drag our images one by one into our document. They are going to be much bigger than the canvas, but don't resize them individually. We'll resize them together so they're all the same size. Okay, so once you have all your images in your new canvas, I'm going to stretch this just to make it a little bit bigger, and we're going to select all of our layers and then resize them together. So click on your top layer, hold Shift and click on the last layer, and that will select them all. Then we can go up to Edit and Free Transform. If the box is outside of your canvas, you can either move it up to here and make it bigger, or a shortcut for it is to press Command and 0. Now we're going to drag the corner in, holding Shift. If we don't hold Shift, it can skew your images like this, but if we hold Shift, it will keep the same aspect ratio. Okay, so drag it down quite small. Because all our images have got to fit onto one page. Okay. Press the tick once you're happy, and that will confirm your free transform. Okay, so now we're going to take them one by one and put them into the correct order. You don't have to be precise at this point, we're just getting them in the right place, almost. That will zoom in for you. We're going to focus on the first two layers first. So we'll drag these and move them just out of the way. And these are the ones we're going to put in place first. So I always find it useful to pick a key point to then drag over into position here. So in this case I'm going to click on this corner and join it up over to that corner. Okay, you can change the opacity down and see through the layer. So if we click on this layer, your top layer, and change the opacity down, we can see our picture underneath. Okay, use your arrow keys if you want to be a bit more precise, and move it into position. Okay, we've got a bit of distortion, which has dragged this, just skewed it just a bit too much up here, but we'll see if we can work around that. Change the opacity back up, and there it is, it's almost in the right position. Once you're happy with where it needs to be, we're then going to get rid of this harsh line down the middle there. So to do that, we'll use the rubber tool, go to your brush settings and put the hardness right down to 0%, and quite a good sized brush. And now what we're going to do is make sure you're on the top layer, and we're going to rub out the edge there. Okay, and now you can take more time in getting areas like this right, and up here. But for now we're just going to move on to the next image. Okay, we'll do the same again. We'll go back to your move tool, pick a point to move across. I'm going to pick that corner again and put it to that corner, and then that one fits together a bit better. And we'll go back to the rubber tool and rub out. Make sure you're on the right layer, and we're going to rub out that line again. Okay, and now again we've got this warped line here, and we can use a few different tools to get that back into the right position. So if we go to edit and transform and warp, we can then drag this corner up just slightly, moving that line so it joins. Be careful not to warp it too much, because then it won't look right at all. So once you're happy and that line now joins up, and I can't really see any other faults, okay, once you're done stitching together your panorama, we can level it off. As you can tell, mine's sloping to the right. We can do this by dragging a line down from your ruler, and we can put it on horizon right in the middle, and we can see that I've sloped down to the right. Okay, to get that line up, click and drag from your ruler and it will bring out a line. If your rulers aren't there, hold Command and R and it will give you the rulers. Okay, so once you've got your ruler there, with all of the layers selected, because you want to rotate them all, go to Edit and Free Transform, or the shortcut is Command T, and just rotate it all round until it looks almost level. We'll go for about there, and we can click and drag our line out the way. And I'm happy for that. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now once you're happy with it being level, you're happy with the way you've stitched them together, we can crop it down to a panorama using the crop tool, which is this tool here, and click and drag that over your image. Okay, you may have some areas where it will be missing. You can drag it over to just crop all that out, or you could use the stamp tool. I'll show you how to use the stamp tool with just this little white bit here. Okay, so click the tick or press enter to say yes to that, and I will quickly show you. Here we've got this area of white that we want to get rid of. If we click and go into the stamp tool, select the layer we want to work on, which is this one. Now holding Alt will copy this. We'll copy this area of sky and click here. Hold Alt, click on the sky, and then paint it out. Okay. Okay. If it's something small like that, you can probably easier just to crop it out, or you can have a go with the stamp tool. Okay, I will quickly show you now how to save your panoramas. You can save this whole file as a PSD file, which is just a Photoshop file, and what this does is save all your layers into that folder, so when you open it again you can edit it again. But if you want to save it as one image and condense those layers into one, I'll show you how to do that. But just be aware that by doing that you get rid of all those layers, so you won't be able to edit the layers individually again. So to do that, go to Layers and Merge Visible. This will merge all your visible layers into one. Okay, and now we have a completed panorama. The good thing about merging it all together is you can now edit it as one image. So if you're thinking, oh, it might be too light or too dark, you can go to Adjustments and Levels and edit it as a whole. Okay. And there you go, that's how to stitch together a panorama.